Now that we know how we can import, categorize, label, and rate the images in Library, we have a final tab in the left panel called the Navigator. We will learn more about it in this lesson. Now, this is nothing complicated. This is just for if you want to see your images, examine them before you develop them later on. You could give them ratings right here. You can give them flags. You can actually give them names and draw face region. A lot of other things you could do with this. And let's say I want to examine my images before I develop them, so I know that I should only develop the ones that are focused, for example. So I have this zoom button. I'm going to hit on it and hit on it. And now I'm zoomed in. I could change how I can choose how zoomed in I want to be or how wide I want my thing to be. And I could actually use this rectangle here to navigate around my images. So let's say I like this image. I could actually change here, make it into fill, fit, and I can change how zoomed in I want to be. Okay, so I'm liking this image. Let's come out of it. Let's zoom out. I'm going to give this a 5-star like we mentioned in the previous lessons. This is how the star rating works. And that's how you use the Navigator tool. So let me go back to my grid. Just press this button here. And now that we're done with the left side of the library module, we will get into exporting later. Don't worry about that. Let's get on to the right side of the Lightroom library. The first thing we see here is a histogram, which just is representation of the values and the tones of each image. So let's go in here. It creates another gram. Let's go in this. Let's go to another image. These histograms, as we said, they show the values, but a lot of times when we have, there's the histogram for this image, when we have overexposed highlights or underexposed shadows, we're going to get these error symbols on the top right or left of each corner. And these are really helpful when you're developing an image, so you know where you could fix. You can also use the clipping indicator, which we will get into while we are developing. So this is nice to have a look at when you're in Lightroom. Then we have quick develop. Let's open that. Now, as the word says, notice here that we have a develop panel that's separate from this. Quick develop basically means that you can quickly edit your image or images without having to go to the develop panel. What that means is it's right now it's on default settings, and it has some random settings for you. If you want to turn this image into black and white, it has some settings that will be set up for you to edit them. Treatment, you can choose a treatment. And these are basically the saved presets. So there are already a lot of presets on Lightroom. You won't have to make one yourself, but you could always make one yourself. And let's say you have a preset for landscape images, cloudy landscape images. I could just go on my cloudy landscape image and put that preset on it, and then I could just export it without having to spend much time in the develop panel. So, and then we have white balance. You can change the white balance, keep it auto, or keep the white balance as it is. Then we have some tone control, and you can actually just change the tones. Let me just move to the left, and look, my image is completely black because I'm changing the exposure. Let's undo all of that. Okay, I'm slowly bringing back the image. And these are the key things that you would have when you're controlling tone, which is exposure, the lightness of the image, the brightness of the image. clarity, the details of the image, and vibrance, the colors, the vibrancy of each color in the image. You can reset all, hit auto, so Lightroom automatically edits it for you. Hit reset, it resets everything you did. Let's close this off. Whoops. Oh yeah, and once you close these three are the most important ones, but you could open these and have more control over the tone. And again, you could reset them. And there are two options for moving them. This moves a third of a stop, and this moves one full stop. And it's like if you want the vibrance to be increased a lot, you would have to press this, and if you want to gradually increase it, you would press this. Okay, now down to keywording. Let's open keywords, and earlier we added a keyword to this, summer, and we could actually add some more. So it gives us some suggestion as well. You can click here to add keyword. Let's add smile. Okay, so now it's smile summer, and I could keep the keyword tags. They're the invisible data behind each image. I could also use it to search for the images with the following tags. So it gives us some suggestions as well. Let me press whites. Maybe white is a good suggestion. We do have some white background, and her teeth is quite white. Doesn't have any suggestion for us. Let's close this. And it has a keyword set. Maybe I have some keywords previously created for certain images. Here's some wedding photography. Let's press that, and here you can see that Lightroom already has the preset for wedding photography. So if it's an image of the bride, I would be choosing bride, wedding party, maybe black and white, ceremony, whatever it is. Or I could create my own set, or use the or even delete the sets that Lightroom has created for us. So let's just keep the keywords as it is. These are the most relevant ones. And you don't want to add irrelevant keywords to your image, because they would get lost among other categories and your image will have less chance of being seen. Gotta use relevant and specific keywords. Like smile, she's smiling, maybe red lipstick, short hair, things that are specific and relevant to an image. So let's close the keywording off. That's how you keyword. Okay, let's close this as well. And then we have keyword list. And this is the same thing here. We just have the list here. So if I have summer, I want to look at the photos with the keyword summer in them, and that would be like 12 of them, because I added that keyword to these images in earlier lessons. And I'm going to look for one that has a smile in it. This is the one with the smile. Then we have whites, which are down there in other folders. It's going to help me find, let's do a little type here, write smile, for example. And I will see that I only have one keyboard with smile in it. So this is the one. Okay, so this guy has a keyword with smile in it. Let's go back. Okay, now that we're back at the thing, let's turn that off. We don't need the listing. And then we have metadata. Like I said earlier, metadata is the invisible data that is always connected to your image, no matter where it's published, uploaded, downloaded, it's always there. And in your metadata, you would obviously put the name, and you have the title, the caption, your copyright. So copyright is important because I want everyone to know that this is an image that I took. Then you have copyright status, public domain, copyrighted. You can even add ratings to them, creator, and these guys are already added to the metadata. The dimensions, exposure, the settings, and all that. I'm going to show you how these data is going to show up on different platforms when you upload an image that contains them. So let's go to Behance, and here I have an image that I have posted. If I go up here on info, you can see all of these guys are going to show up. The same things that we would add on the image as that invisible data. And if I had added like my name or the name of the photo, they would show up here. So this is great for people to know more about the image and also know who took it and the copyright status and the other things. So this is how the metadata works. Let's close it off. And also you can have some presets. You can have location, maybe different formats, video, anything you'd like. And then we have comments, where if anyone added comments to your image, they would show up. Mine don't have any comments, so there won't be anything in here. And let's close quick develop. And this is how the this is what the panel is on the right side. And now you know how to work with both the left panel and the right panel. In the next lessons, we're going to go over the film strip, which is the bottom panel and the top panel. I'll see you there.